Welcome to Tonics In, the best way to talk about video games. Hosted by my Roslo Khan and Saga Tender.
Yay! New opening! It's not as shitty as the first one. It's improved. Yay! So, yeah, this is episode 2 of the podcast. It happened, so that's good.
Yeah, we came back for another one. Why not?
Yeah. So, how about that gaming news? If there is
Gaming
any
news.
news, because the world is imploding. So,
Yeah, no kidding. Go for it. What's the first story you got for us?
So at first it started off as actual news and then it was debunked as not actual, like, happening news, but I'll
Oh.
say it anyway. So the original news was PlayStation 5 games news. Sony takes matters into its own hands for shock PlayStation 5 release. So they were hinting at a Silent Hill revival
Oh
and
no.
yeah, and making a Silent Hill game, and they're all like, "Ooh!" And the article even quotes, "There's even talk that Junji Ito might be involved."
What?
I know. And then later on, Konami's like, "No, that's not what we're doing. We don't make
Ah,
cool shit, so it's not happening." So
what is Konami's problem?
I don't know.
Wow. Okay, so I guess you can always just make another Silent Hills inspired kind of game. There's not like there's a monopoly on survival horror esque mind fuckery kind of games. But
Mm.
man, like every time they pull out that name,
Yeah, it's like,
to then just like pull it right back and be like, nope, sorry, we're not gonna let
yeah.
you guys have fun.
And like they don't even have to call it Silent Hill. Like they can get someone else to like make a new like title for the game, just like Blood Night or Bloodstained Ritual. It's like it's Castlevania, but it's not.
Yeah, or Evil Within. Although that has enough difference from like anything like Resident Evil that it's not quite as close. But I mean, like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it sucks.
we wanted Shinji Mikami to make a new game. He made something new at least, So
Yes, it's true. He did something. He tried,
he
but
tried.
it's kind of went downhill when he named the city Crimson City with a K.
Crimson City with a K. Like,
Hell
come
yeah.
on, what a joke.
No kidding. Oh dear. So, yeah, so that
Yeah,
sucks.
terrible news. That it would be teased and then go away like that so quickly. We swept under the rug again. Um,
Mm,
but like I feel like when it comes to the Silent Hill franchise, I don't know if I trust anybody to bring it back to like the heights that it was at with
no.
2 and 3. Those were so good.
Yeah, they had so many chances because I did the game analysis and absolutely like ruined my mind analyzing 4, which actually was okay. I don't
Hmm.
mind 4. But it's like, oh, here's Homecoming, here's Downpour, and it's just like those to me are not Silent Hill games.
No, yeah.
So, yeah, like they had good things about them, but I mean, I'll get to the Silent Hill series later on in this podcast when we talk about the main topic,
Hmm.
because there's stuff about that. And anyway, so I
Yes,
won't say any
yes.
more.
Oh, exciting.
No, I know. So how about your slot of gaming news?
Okay, let's see. What's the first thing that I came across here? So as we're all gripped in COVID-19 coronavirus panic these days, um, GameStop wanting to stay open as an essential service through
Uh,
all of this.
what
Like,
a fucking joke.
are you kidding me? Like,
No.
oh my God. The wording of everything is just like the most ridiculous corporate speak. They're trying to get an edge on any kind of competition by remaining open because they're flagging like how that company is not completely run into the ground at this point. I
Mm,
don't know, but
no, don't know.
thankfully, though, they did close up shop. I think about a week ago now. But
Mm,
there was a time there where it looked like they were going to try and stay open against a huge backlash from gamers and from just the general public. Like, why are
Yeah,
you guys in essential service? You're the farthest thing from it right now. As much as we are,
exactly.
benefiting from having more time to play video games, perhaps, and it's nice to have them uh, when we're all kind of locked down. But essential service, I don't think so, guys.
No. Though I know reports said that they were making way more, like per day than what they made like last year during that time. So they were just staying open just to make more money.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, sales were good because everyone's like, oh shit, I'm going to be stuck inside. I better buy some video games and stock up. So
Yeah.
they're just like, we need to stay open. How can we do that? Oh, let's lie about being an essential service. Oh, fuck off.
God.
God. So yeah, I heard about that one. I didn't even put it on my list because I had like, just like shat all over it when I actually saw it at first. I'm like, ugh. Um, okay. So my next little piece of news is actually like a few days after we published the other one.
Mhm.
And I thought it was really, really cool. Has nothing to do with coronavirus. Yay! Um,
Right.
so there's a Minecraft server, that has the Library of Banned Journalism. So the project was created by non-profit organization Reporters Without Borders, which seeks to defend the freedom of information worldwide. So in this, like, you can go into this Minecraft server as your little character and read articles that were never published or censored by their country, and information about the reporters themselves. It's really
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
That's really cool.
I haven't visited the server because I'm too dumb and I don't know how fucking computer shit works. So I'm like, cool, but I've seen like pictures and little videos of it, and I'm like, this is awesome. I like this.
Oh wow, it looks. I'm just looking at it for the first time here. It looks
Mm.
the actual like the building itself is really grand. Like
Yeah, they
that's
built it after some like French thingamajiggy.
yeah.
I don't know what it was. I didn't write it down. I was just like, this is cool. I don't care about the architecture and all the effort that was made into putting it into like reality, but you know.
Yeah.
um
Um, very cool. And yeah, just the stuff that's inside. That's really wild. Oh
yeah, it was
my.
on BBC News, so I was just like, oh shit, this is something not about the virus and is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that there's work by Jamal Khashoggi, the
Mm,
journalist that was killed by Saudi agents in 2018.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of his articles can be read in there, and there's some books that tell people who he was and who he was like a journalist for and what he did and stuff. So it's like, oh wow, this is very educational and very cool.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
This is really an impressive little project. That's the thing about Minecraft. Like you think it's just like I don't know. It feels like it's I guess what the good thing about Minecraft is it's like a Lego set in that you can. It seems like it might be a little bit simple at first. Like it's just you clicking blocks together, and the gameplay is just gathering materials, crafting, and stuff like that. But when you see the work that goes into projects like this, it reminds me of the another story that was out recently about a group of Japanese students that held their graduation ceremony virtually in Minecraft because all of their schools were locked down over in Japan there. So they hosted an event on a Minecraft server of some kind and held their
That's pretty
graduation
cool.
ceremony there instead over there. Um, so it kind of makes
Everybody's
sense.
school's closed now.
Everyone's yeah. If the schools aren't closed now, yeah, they probably should be in most places.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. The UK
Yeah,
was really, really late in closing their schools.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest of the world's like, what the fuck you doing?
Got you guys. Come
Yeah.
on. Um, yeah, it's just hard to know with all this stuff, but
Mm,
yeah, I mean, Minecraft offers a way for everyone to kind of connect, as do a lot of games, which is just like
mm,
the upside of being a gamer, and at this time, I'd say, is that we can still kind of stay connected.
mm. And it's cool that Minecraft is like it's expanded through so many like age groups because like I know people that like, oh yeah, I just did some Minecraft shit because I was bored and I wanted to do this
Mm,
and build whatever. And then I go to work and there's like 14-year-old girls that are all like, "Hey, we play Minecraft. Minecraft's the best." It's like, I remember those days.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you're the past. So it is cool. So yeah, that was mine. What's your next little gaming news thingamajiggy?
Yeah, not a whole lot that really jumped out at me, but I did notice that the developers of the Messenger, that like Ninja Gaiden NES slash SNES kind of platformer, uh,
Mm,
it's got a bit of Metroidvania elements to it.
cool.
These guys are going to be starting out on their next project, and they're making a classic JRPG.
Ooh.
Just a trailer out right now for Sea of Stars. It's got
I
a
haven't actually
Kickstarter going, I think.
I haven't actually seen anything about that. I will have to check that out.
Looks pretty interesting so far. Really nice pixel art, some nice little background
Ooh.
stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it's not coming out for a while, but they're starting up the Kickstarter for it and whatnot. I don't know. It just kind of caught my eye as something that looks like it could be pretty hype.
Mm. And I mean, they'll have lots of time to develop stuff, so.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
they've pushed it out to at least 2022 before they're even thinking about releasing it. So they're definitely giving
Mm.
themselves enough time to take on the project, which is good because like some of those
Mm.
Kickstarter projects, they come in really ambitious, they come in hot, and
And they're like, "Yeah,
they, they
it's gonna be ready in like 3 months." It's like,
and then you're
no.
waiting years later before it finally comes out,
Yeah.
or if at all, you know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. It's all, yeah, that's the gamble you have with Kickstarter.
seriously.
Yeah. Um, so my last piece of gaming news, I actually just saw this because I just got Animal Crossing New Horizons. Uh,
Sweet.
it's Animal Crossing. It's the same shit. It's great. The stupid puns every time you catch a fish and all that. Um, but it says that Animal Crossing New Horizons is the best-selling Switch game, selling 1.88 million in 3 days.
That's huge. That's a really big number.
Yeah,
Wow.
3 days. That's insane. And then this also links to another article where Switch consoles are very scarce right now, and
Mm.
prices are nearly doubling on Amazon. I checked, and it's just like, oh shit.
Wow.
Mm,
You know what? I mean, because production, I think, has slowed down on a lot of fronts.
mm.
That kind of makes sense that they're feeling a bit of a pinch. Um, and with everyone staying home, like, and if you're a family, especially, I would say, like, what are you going to get your kids if you don't have a Switch yet? They need something to keep them entertained. Let's
Yeah,
get a Switch. So,
yes, yeah, kid-friendly console. Here you go, Switch.
yeah. Those are big numbers. That's exciting.
Mm.
You've been playing it. What do you think of it so far?
It's pretty good. It's shifted more from just like you buy a bunch of furniture into you make all the furniture from like sticks and weeds and stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
you start making your own tools. You make your own you get recipes from people or whatever, and you have like this little smartphone, and you can like look at all the recipes that you can make. Um,
Hmm.
but it's still very much Animal Crossing in that I have a bunch of random shit in my house right now that doesn't make any sense. But the more you
Okay.
craft, the more you like unlock these little like basically like like points. Like there's like a
Mm.
point system of like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you caught 10 fish. Here's some points.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good. It's Animal Crossing. It's chill. I like it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't really played too much in the last couple of days, at least. Nothing new, I guess.
Mm.
I did check out the Resident Evil 3 demo. It's
Ah, yeah,
pretty
you did tell
good.
me that.
Very excited for that one. I didn't play the whole demo through because like I just wanted to get at least like a feel for the game
A little
and see
taste.
if a little taste, you know, and it feels good. It's more of the same when it comes to like if you played the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Which I
It's
still
very
have to do.
similar. Oh
Oh,
my
I know.
goodness, oh my goodness.
I watched you play, and then I'm
Yes.
expecting to watch you play on the third one as well.
Oh yeah, you bet. But yeah, so it feels good so far, and I played just a few minutes of it, shot a couple zombies, and I was like, okay, I'm ready for this to come
Nice.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. I think they show Nemesis in it. I'm like, no, I don't even want to see Nemesis yet.
No.
Like
Have you seen the trailers then? Because I think he's in the trailers.
I have seen like very few little fleeting moments of
Oh,
him,
okay.
but
Stop.
I have not actually like paid close attention or analyzed anything to any level.
Mm,
Nope. I just want to play the game. Let me play the
yeah.
game at this point.
The games that I'm looking forward to, obviously, we're both looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes.
So I got that on pre-order. I also pre-ordered Persona 5 Royal, because
Mm,
if you look at like the Metacritic reviews, they're better than the original game. They're just like,
right.
everything is improved, everything is great, get it. And I'm like, I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
I put so many hours in the first game. Like my entire
Mm-hmm.
Easter holiday, which over in the UK is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, it was just sunk into that game. I think it was, I averaged it about 10 hours a day.
Oh my God.
I know, it
Yeah.
was insane. It
Yeah.
was great. It's like
um.
one of those times where you just don't move from the couch, and when you suddenly have thoughts and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm hungry and I gotta pee so
Yeah.
badly." uh,
Yes.
those good
That's
times.
awesome that it just like sucks you in like that.
It's so
I,
nice.
I am even considering jumping in and getting Persona 5 Royal, depending on
Oh, yeah,
how
do it.
long all of this kind of shakes out.
Oh, do it.
If I've got more time.
My original run through, I think, was like 80 hours, and then I ran through
Mm,
it again, and I think I'm topping almost 200 hours into it. So, the
wow.
original game, and now I get to play the remake.
All over again,
All
baby.
over again. Hooray. I do like the English dub. I know you're probably going to go for the Japanese dub first time round, but if you
Hmm.
play the game a second time, go for the English dub. It is also very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But that, yeah, the Persona games are pretty solid for voice acting.
Hmm.
Anyways, before I forget, do you want to explain what beers you're having right now?
Oh,
Because,
what beer do I have today? Let's see.
yeah,
What do I have? I have Backcountry Brewing, which is in the Whistler, BC area.
cool,
Backcountry Brewing's Dead of Night Galaxy IPA.
cool.
So it's a hazy-ish IPA,
Are they new?
6.6%.
Because I don't remember them.
They are very new.
Okay.
Yeah, I only just heard about them a little while ago. Not maybe very new, but I first encountered them last year.
Oh, well, see,
Um,
I haven't been home for like 2 years,
for a
so
while, yeah. So
yeah, that's new.
yeah, so yeah, fairly new guys, but they've everything I've had from them has been really good. So
Mm,
this is also good.
excellent. Um, my first beer, I wrote it down because I recycled it already. Was a Singha Thai beer, which is
Ooh,
it's just a normal like lager beer.
yes, right.
From Thailand, obviously a Thai beer.
Yeah.
It's 5%. And it was a 300, oh no, not 300, 630 ml bottle.
Oh, so a big boy.
A big
All
boy.
right. Nice.
Yeah, it's like in the basic range in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually a deal of like 3 for £5 for like these
Yeah.
bottles.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can get this or like an Indian beer. You can get pretty much like just around Europe kind of thing. So,
Uh-huh.
and my second beer here is Starper Ramen, which is a Prague beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 5%. And this bottle is 660 ml, so
Oh,
slightly
wow.
more.
Yeah.
But yeah, Prague beer is amazing. When I went
Mm,
there a few years ago, it was like basically the conversion rate was like a pound for a pint. It was amazing.
fantastic. What a deal.
Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I have very basic beer, but it's very, very delicious, and you save money because you buy lots.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, we were gonna move on to what are we listening to?
Yeah.
What track really has been jamming in your speakers?
Lately, just because there's like those 15-minute and like 30-minute loops of it, which is
Hmm.
perfect. So I've been listening to the Astral Chain soundtrack, specifically the Task Force Neuron song. which is like
Oh,
the hub that you go back to before all the missions that you take on. It's like the
yeah.
police station, and it's just fucking great.
Wow.
It's bumping and it's good. It's just a really good background noise to have. So I'll send it
Mm,
to you after this.
nice. Um, for me, I was just 'cause I was playing that Resident Evil 3 demo. I was just thinking about um, how sometimes like a soundtrack doesn't have to be like 1000% banging, but
Mm,
like it still does a good job of like really setting the tone. And I was just thinking about the Resident Evil 2 um Raccoon Police Department, like the front hall, the first tease of music you get when you step into the police department.
mm.
It's that like kind of piano-y thing
Yeah.
with
I was
like
gonna
the
try and recreate it with just my mouth, but no, that's a bad
right.
idea. Especially when I'm like a beer and a half in. No.
Yeah.
That's the song.
um but like it really it just sets the tone so perfectly,
Mm.
and like it's not really like it's anything too fancy. It's not done by anybody memorable, and it's not one of those tracks that everyone's like, oh, this is the one.
It's
But
like, oh yeah,
just
track number
like going
3, like police 150. Yeah, that one.
yeah. But yeah, just going through the soundtrack, I'm like, yeah, like it really gives you that feeling. You really pulls you into the world, and I think that is important in music as well. If it can really just kind of bring you into what the game's putting down,
Yeah, like sets
that's
you
also
in the
effective.
atmosphere and in the mood for what the
Mm-hmm.
game is gonna dole out. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I guess the Astral Chain one kind of does that. A lot of the music is very um, like I don't know, like I'm trying to sound smart, but I'm just like it's music.
Mm-hmm.
But like electricy, like synthy type stuff, kind of
Yeah.
very techno-y stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it matches with the game because there's like it's like sci-fi stuff, and it's like high actiony, like beat the shit out of things. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Gets you
It's
pumped.
it gets you pumped, and if that's what the game is all about, then for sure
Pretty much. The
doing the
yeah,
job.
the story in the game is very like, huh? It's like I just want my like ghost mech to punch people. Thank you. Uh, all right. So do we want to go into the main topic, which
Yeah,
I
let's go for the
have
main.
on
Yeah.
the computer here? So the main topic, word for word, the impact of plot twists and how if you don't have them, the game can feel stale or basic, but they often feel forced in for the sake of avoiding that feeling of staleness. Wow, that was really paced terribly. This was suggested by Alcion, which very very good dude. I did a playthrough of RimWorld. It's like a management systemy type
Oh
game,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
survival-y thing, and I named Alcion after one of the colonists who kept dying, unfortunately, and I'm
Oh
very sorry
no.
about that. So I just kept renaming people. I'm like, this is Alcion 2. Oh, Alcion 2 is dead. Alcion 3, yes.
That's
So,
awesome.
yes. So, yeah. Plot twists in games.
Mm-hmm.
I think we already both came to a unanimous conclusion on one game where it was
Oh.
fucking stupid. um,
No kidding.
and that is
What are we
Star
talking
Ocean
about?
3, where you go into 4D.
Oh my
Whoa!
God, 4D? Are you kidding me?
Like, oh.
Of all of the plot twists in all of gamedom, that one is right at the top. Man, is it just so brutal.
It like they didn't need it whatsoever. It's like here's a fantasy type, sci-fi type game, and you got special powers for some reason. You could
Mhm.
roll with it any other way. No, you're trying to break out of the computer system that you're in. What? Huh.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. I mean, like, and when it cut, I understand that like a plot twist is supposed to, be an actual twist in the plot where you don't see it coming, and then it kind of sends it in a different direction, and you're like, "Whoa, what just happened?" But like that one feels so bad. Like
Mm,
the thing is, it has the Star Ocean franchise didn't really resort to huge dumb plot twists before,
No.
It had a nice balance of sci-fi and kind of like fantasy elements. That was kind of what made the game kind of unique in like a kind of crowded marketplace. And to throw in a really dumb twist, like this is all some simulation.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's like,
how could you do that?
but like the problem is, like, I'm not sure if all the games are connected from that point. Like, I know that 1 and 2 are definitely connected, but I cannot remember if there's any connections from 2 to 3. But I mean, if there is, that means all of the not Silent Hill, all of the Star Ocean games before 3 were all a simulation as well. And it's just like, wow, way to destroy all of these games. Like,
yeah.
So none of it mattered. None of like the world ending in Star Ocean 2 didn't matter. No. It was all simulation. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I guess like from here, how do we how do we look at plot twists and whether or not they're like good or bad? You were saying you kind of came up with some categories of plot twists and kind of like where they fit in the good, bad, or awful spectrum.
Yeah. I didn't put down any good plot twists because I think the question was about like how shitty ones are shoved in for no reason.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually research any good ones, but I'll try and think of some while we're talking. But the categories I put down are like bad or poorly executed, confusing plot twists. Then the other category was plot twists that were too late in the game to actually have an effect, or it just felt really like a cheap cop-out, or you're just like, what the fuck happened? And the last one is games that suffered from plot twist fatigue because it's part of a long series of games. Yeah.
All right.
So we can go back and forth. I have like loads in the bad ones, and like 2 in the other ones.
Okay. Well, let's start with 1. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep in this Star Ocean vein because Star Ocean 4 was also a fucking hot mess.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's one point in the game where you are taken to an alternate dimension and Edge's actions result in Earth exploding.
Oh.
And just getting destroyed. But right after that, you go back to your dimension, so it doesn't affect you, really. But he becomes a whining, crying emo for the rest of the game because he's like, I blew up Earth in another dimension. I'm like, okay, cool.
Story.
Yeah, like this. Why did that have to happen? Like, oh my god, it's so dumb. And like, I can't even process it. Like, that's just like the basicness of it. It's just he becomes so conscious of his actions to the point of like you're so frustrated with him. Right.
It completely changes the character, but I mean, like it like not in a way that you're like, oh, this is like character growth or this makes him more sympathetic or anything. It just you come to hate him more.
Oh yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the most like I did a top 10 list of most annoying characters. He's number 1. And you should hear that rant like holy balls. Huh. And his name is Edge Maverick, for fuck's sake.
Which is also a terrible
like,
name.
God damn it. But like, yeah, it serves no purpose whatsoever. It just changes his like outlook of how he's dealing with other people. But it doesn't matter because everyone else in his group is like, come on, Edge, get with it. And like he's just dragging everyone down. It's like you're just like an anti-plot right now. So it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like he's the only one that knows about the whole Earth situation.
No, everyone else was there. They had an equal part in it, but he was just so upset about it.
Oh, really? So everyone else kind of like retained the memories of that.
Oh yeah, no,
and
they were
couldn't
all
get over
there.
It. Oh, okay, so it's much worse.
It's much worse.
I thought
everyone else is like, Edge, get out grip, and he's like, no, I killed Earth. I was like, okay.
Okay, that is actually really terrible. Because I was thinking like it could have been like a Steins Gate situation where where
It's not
only
that
Kyoma
clever.
like knows what's going on about, all the time travel and stuff, and everyone else is kind of oblivious, and he has to keep re-explaining things to people, and he knows about all the bad world lines that he's been on and everything, and like, okay,
No.
guy's going kind of mental, and everyone else is like, what's wrong with you, bro? But if everyone else is already like, gotten over the whole situation, and yet he's still stuck whining about how he destroyed Earth, man, no.
Yeah. Because
Sorry,
they're
bro.
all like, it wasn't your fault, it was some crazy lady's fault. And yes, it's true, but he kind of like, I don't know, gave them an idea pretty much, and then they just ran with it. But it's like, it's not your fault, and it was in another dimension, and we'll never know about it. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. So, yeah, that was also really dumb. And then I haven't even played Star Ocean 5, because after that mess of a game, I'm like, no more Star Ocean
No
ever.
more.
Anyways, so what is your bad or too late or just boring plot twists? I have
I was
more, so after you're
yeah.
done this next one, I will go
I
on.
I bad. I guess in that category it might fall into this is the Resident Evil 5 reveal that Jill is the masked person. Um,
Right.
like
I
it's so like when
forgot how
they
dumb that was.
like when they telegraph it so obviously, like of course it's going to be Jill, right? Who else is it going to
Yeah.
be? And then she pulls off the mask and you're supposed to be like, oh my
Oh my
god,
god.
but you're just like
Yawn.
meh. Like it's a
Yeah.
boring dumb plot twist that doesn't like that again, like it's trying to spice something up in the narrative, and it's like it wasn't necessary.
Mm-mm.
This could have been a new character and we would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
um but they make it Jill, and they kind of like were hinting at it stupidly, like ham-fistedly, uh all this time. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
it's Jill. Of course it's Jill. We got it.
And like the problem with that whole setup is that Jill dies in like one of those rail shooter games.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
is
yeah,
it like
right.
the Umbrella Chronicles or something like that? I don't really
Mm-hmm.
remember. But
Yeah,
it's
one of
like,
those ones.
yeah, one of those ones. So it's like, I mean, it is part of like the main plot, but it's also like a rail shooter, so you don't care. Like, we wouldn't
Yeah.
play that because it's not like a true Resi game. But
Mm-hmm.
all of 5 is like going off the plot that Jill disappears or like appears to have died at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the game starts, it's like, Jill's dead. And I'm like, what? When did that happen? So, that's kind of like a plot twist right at the beginning, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just all very confusing and dumb when they handle it so poorly.
Yeah.
One that, like, okay. So we've studied the fuck out of Chrono Cross because of that game
Sure, yeah.
analysis, but
Yeah.
I still have a problem with the plot twist of you switching bodies with Lynx.
Mm.
Because, like, I get it for the plot, but it's a very confusing plot. So when I was like babby age or whatever age I was, like
Mm-hmm.
10 or 11 when I was like playing through it, I didn't know why it happened. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm just like, "Oh, cool, I'm a cat dude now."
Yeah.
So, like, and I understand because we've studied the shit out of it. It's like, "Oh, he was the arbiter and we have to switch the body so that we can activate the frozen flame," but it's so convoluted and poorly handled that it's just like a sudden thing that doesn't really make sense until you dig really deep into it.
Yeah, it's one of those plot twists where, like, on a second or third playthrough, and after analyzing the heck out of it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But when you're playing that for the first time, it feels like there's no logic behind it. Like,
Yeah.
why am I Lynx now? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense at all.
Also, why
Um,
is it do you know what the dragon tear does to them to switch their bodies? Like, why does it have that power? Like,
right.
I don't know. I can't remember researching any of that, so.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean, for that
Yeah.
one, like, yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Uh, it
Are you
it
looking it up
it
right
it's
now?
it's definitely, it's one of those ones, like it. I guess they had a direction with the game, and that's what they wanted to do with it, was that you gotta be the enemy basically for a while,
Beaks. Yeah.
and but um, it is an odd direction to take that plot, because it seemed like it was moving on kind of fine as it was. Like there would have been enough game, or maybe they got to a point where they, because they were going to go with this alternate dimension thing as opposed to time travel, they got a little bit stuck with regard of what to do, and so they thought it might be boring if maybe you stayed as Surge the entire time, and so they just kind of like threw this links thing in.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what their reasoning was.
Yeah.
I guess, like, for me, when I was playing through it, I'm like, I always thought, oh, Harl's really cool. I like Harl. And then, like, I could have her in my party because I was Lynx eventually. So I'm
Right.
like, that's nice.
This is cool.
This is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very confusing.
Very confusing, yeah. Oh no, I've lost my list of games.
Oh no. Do you want me to plug more? Because they're right in front of me.
You go for it. Yeah, just feed me some more, and we'll talk about them.
So, this is also like another big game that like probably loads of people love and will worship and will hate me for shitting on it a little bit. Final Fantasy VIII, where Squall and the other party members suffer from like just mass amnesia, and it's explained that the summons in the game, like the GFs, if you equip them on characters, like it makes them stronger, but it erases their memories apparently. Like I researched this and I'm like, what? And so that's why everyone doesn't remember each other, that they grew up as kids and that Adia was their caretaker. Like,
yeah, so like a really supremely convenient plot device.
Yeah.
That then leads to, more twists in the story because of stupid convenient plot device that gave the characters amnesia.
Yeah. No, so it's like, yeah, poorly executed. Like the game was fine. Like they didn't have to all have grown up. I don't give a shit about that.
Right.
But yeah, like as the main topic says, like I guess the game was feeling stale and they wanted to spice it up with mass amnesia. It's like, okay, cool. That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Of all the things in that game, yeah, like the fact that GFs
wipe memories,
somehow wipe your memory, does seem a little bit lazy. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another gripe I have. But I'm like, I love the game. It's great. I always remember, like, you knew how to fuck with the game where you could fight that mummy thing that had its face and two hands in, like, an area in the game, very specific. And, like, you would fight that enemy because the enemies level up with you in the game. And then you would fight it and you get so much AP or whatever from it.
Right.
Yeah, so you would just farm the shit out of that, and you're like, oh, all my GFs are like the top level now. And I'm like,
yeah,
oh.
it was that guy, and then you could also farm so you could draw some pretty good magic off of it. It was like the visage, and then like the two hands or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and you could farm good magic off of him, and use that to max out. I think he had like the triple magic or maybe meteor or something. Like for no reason he had like really high level spells, and then you could
and
just
if you were in
those.
like a specific section in the map, like it would appear. Yeah, I remember you doing that, and I'm just like, that's amazing.
yeah, really, kind of. It's a very easy system to game, but
yeah. But I hate the draw system. If they ever remake Final Fantasy VIII, don't do the draw system. I am so sick drawing so many spells right at the beginning of the game, from the fucking fish, from the fucking bugs, and the fucking fat caterpillar thing from like Alice in Wonderland. Like, Jesus Christ, no. And
then you never want to use your magic because it's linked to all your stats.
Exactly. It's just like, I don't want to use that when my HP will go down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the speed run for that game is basically to just convert the cards that you get in the triple triad into high level spells and stuff, and then you equip those on a couple of stats, and then you just use limit breaks the entire game. You just keep
Ugh.
yourself in critical and just limit break the crap out of everything. So it's just like one of those games
That's
that's
amazing.
so busted.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you find your list?
I don't know what happened to my list. RIP list.
Okay.
So what else we got?
Well, I got Detroit Become Human.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you either watched something or played through it?
I did watch a playthrough of it. Yes.
Okay, so you understand the plot and stuff.
Yes, I do.
So the thing that I am very pissed off about is that little child Alice is an android as well.
Oh yeah, right.
So that the point of all of Kara's plot or whatever her name is, it's just defunct. Like, oh look, an android can love a human. No, it's another android. What does this mean? I don't know. So it's like, why did you make Alice an android too, to negate that entire like feeling of like an android can love a human and care for a human just as like a human.
Like a human, yeah.
God damn it. So
well, I mean
yeah.
that's just David Cage, and he
I
always
know.
makes a bad game.
Oh, I know. It's fucking garbage. But I know so many girls at my school love that game, and I'm just like, but what about that?
It's you can poke a million holes through that one for sure, as you can with any of his games.
Yeah.
Like Heavy Rain is also one that has a bad plot twist, or at least what is widely seen as a generally a bad plot twist, in that who the actual, was it the killer is in that one?
Is his name Shelley or something?
Yeah, and he's like he's the detective.
Yeah, and he's just like going around getting evidence, but like covering himself up.
Covering his own tracks as he goes.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, why? He was a nice guy. And people generally don't like that twist very much.
No. And then you see his flashback and he's just like, grr, I'm so angry that my drunken dad never saved my brother who was drowning. Like, okay.
Cool.
So, while you keep looking, I'll keep going down my list.
Yes.
This is a game that you never played because I was like during the phase where I was like getting all the random obscure games because I'm like, I'm so cool. Look at all these games no one knows about. So the game Cartia, Word of Fate.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a PlayStation 1 game. Basic premise is that certain people can use these cards called Cartia and summon phantoms to help them fight.
Okay.
It's an extremely easy game because there's like 3 different kinds of phantoms and it works like rock, paper, scissors. So you just have to pair up the right phantom to just decimate the other team. So at the end, these are the plot twists where it's like at the end of the game where it's too late to actually fucking matter. So with all the cards, they're all phantom cards, but there's this one mythical card where it's the human card. And you're just like, oh, what the fuck does this do? Oh, it's so interesting. And the main character, Lacrima, I think her name is. She's named after some wine. She uses the card, and she herself is transported to the realm where the phantoms are.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing is like, oh, we've been transporting phantoms from their world into our world. Ah. And then the game ends. And it's just like, wow, cool. Please expand. Yeah. So, yeah, plot twist way too late. It's like, cool. Oh, it's the end. Oh, okay. Another one in the same vein there, that I think it was shocking because I wasn't expecting it, and it was just so sudden that I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. Did you ever finish that game?
I don't think I did, no.
Okay, well, here's some big spoilers. Right at the end, when you defeat the final boss, they like release this blast of energy, and Selen, the person who marries Maxim, dies.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, I'm too weak to go. Oh, save our son. And then Maxim has to go and destroy some crystals, and then he dies.
Wow.
And it's just like, oh, that's sad.
That is sad.
Why? Why did you have to do that? Although there's a remake for DS, the 3DS, where it's Lufia 2 just remade, where you can twist the game to save them both in the end, and I'm like, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You did what you did. That's it. No redos.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that comes up every now and then. Is the but you can bring them back.
I bet you 100% Final Fantasy VII's gonna have a way to revive Aerith.
Oh my! If they somehow do that,
Aerith.
Oh geez, I don't know. She better stay dead.
It's gonna happen. I want her to stay dead, but who knows?
It's some kind of.
They have the power to bring her back now, so who knows? And that'll be a bad plot twist. Stale, basic plot twist. Boo!
All the bad.
All the bad.
Okay, what were the other categories that we had?
So just general bad. The ones that happened too late in the game. And then games that suffered from plot twist fatigue because the series makes it very predictable.
Ah, okay. How about that one? What do we have in plot twist fatigue?
So as I mentioned earlier on in the podcast episode, Silent Hill games, because you expect all the bullshit after so many games. So like, it was really annoying because I was like looking at like bad plot twists, and everyone's harping on Silent Hill 2 as being a bad plot twist.
Which is just baffling because it's like one of the best.
Yeah. It's fucking great. Like maybe it was maybe a little bit obvious, like nearer like when you got to the end, but it was still fantastic. But yeah, people are like shitting on everything's reflective of him killing his wife. That's so dumb. I'm like, why is that dumb? That's really good.
Yeah, because like that one I've been thinking about. Like, can we talk about like the good plot twist? You know, and I'm like, yeah, like that's the one. But yeah, okay. I guess let's keep going with the Silent Hill franchise then.
Oh well, we can just like twist it around after that. I only have like one in this plot twist fatigue, and it is Silent Hills. I say past 4 because 4 was different enough that you didn't know what the fuck was going on. But anything after that is just, you know what's gonna happen. Oh look, it's the Order, it's the family who's the cult. Yep, they're doing some crazy shit. Or, oh no, why do I keep seeing my son? Oh, probably because he's dead. And it's just like,
yeah, they went to the well one too many times with that one.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can do that, and that's why I was so excited by Silent Hills, because it was so different and fucking terrifying. So, like, oh, I'm so annoyed at Konami.
I know, right? What a bunch of butts.
God damn it. But yeah, no, let's go into good plot twists. I haven't readied any, but yes, Silent Hill 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
Good plot twist.
I mean, you know, it was Silent Hill, the town, was made to be very mysterious, very creepy. And I think it has to do with the characters in Silent Hill 2, and particularly, I guess, James, the protagonist. You get so invested in his story that, even when a plot twist does kind of reveal itself, it's just it's unexpected, but it's also it's opening up the character more, and like it's giving you that little bit of information that has been maybe teased, but for the most part has been kind of lurking. And no, I think it was excellently executed for sure.
Oh yeah, because like everything's hinting towards it. I did a whole game analysis of it, and I'm like, I love this game. This is why. But like it is so well put together, and though it is janky in some points, it's just like, this is so awesome. Like, storytelling is not that good nowadays. I mean, maybe I'm just missing out on the right ones, but I haven't come across something that was so like, holy shit, in a long time. So, yeah.
I think it's like it's a problem for video games. It's a problem for like mainstream like movies and stuff like this. Like what you're trying to do is you're trying to catch like the biggest market. And so you dumb down the plot just enough where plot twists seem like either, telegraphed and you can see them coming a mile away and they're stupid, or they feel tacked on and dumb because the rest of the writing is poor. But I mean, this game was just like, it's funny that it's a sequel as well. I mean, because Silent Hill 1 did similar stuff, but just
it was someone else's Silent Hill. It was Alessa Gillespie manipulating Silent Hill, whereas James this is his Silent Hill that we're experiencing, not someone else's. So it was different enough, but still Silent Hill.
And I mean, I gotta say, like the voice work as well, it pulls you into the whole world. Like the characters feel authentic, and not just like cookie cutter types.
I actually follow Guy Seehee, who does the voice for James Sunderland, on Facebook. He's so sweet and nice and just really funny. Like, he still puts memes of Silent Hill 2 up all the time. Awesome. And it's so good. Oh, I love him. He's such a cool guy. Yeah, and he hasn't done too much after Silent Hill 2, but there was this one game that it was like a mobile, like kind of like murder mystery, I think, game that he did voices for, and I'm like, cool. Oh man, I gotta play that, and obviously I never have, but I'm like, I remember it, and I'm like, yeah, Guy Seehee, you're so cool.
I guess so. Maybe we could talk about just like why does the plot twist need to exist at all? I guess is I mean, I think there's definitely a place for a plot twist to sneak into almost any game. Like, why not? It's definitely like a narrative element that can make something interesting. I think it might be a case of, I don't know, like you started out writing with one idea and you just couldn't quite fully flesh it out into like a beginning to end story with, like, I don't know, really, really interesting characters. I think if you're going to avoid plot twists, it's got to be all of your characters have to be excellent. They have to interact with each other really nicely. And the overall plot has to be pretty solid. And then you can maybe go without twists.
Yeah. Although it works if you do have solid characters and there is a twist, just to like really like mess with what the characters are doing, kind of thing. Yeah, the one game that comes to mind is like a good plot twist and it still has good characters. Grandia 2. Where you're going across the world to like everyone's like, oh, hail Granus, the god that's super good and cool. And you're going across the world like collecting the parts of like the evil god Valmar so that you can destroy them. But in the end, you learn that like there's like a big battle between the two gods, and that actually Valmar won and is actually the god ruling over. And it's like, oh shit, it's starting to make sense why bad shit's been happening across the world and why we're gathering all these parts. Because like the like bishop of like the Granus cathedral's like, actually, hail Valmar, you got all the parts, now we can resurrect him. It's like, oh shit. So it is a good plot twist. So you have good characters in it as well, so
right.
But yeah, no, I think people like they want the shock value of a plot twist for their fans. So that they all go like, oh my god, I didn't expect that. But they don't care if it's in a good way.
That's a pretty good point. That plot twist equals, you know, I don't know, fan engagement or something, you know, like that people become more invested because plot twist happened, as opposed to, maybe just writing it as part of your like original plot, like you're describing in Grandia 2 there, where it was always going to be that, you know, you were collecting the parts to resurrect the evil god, but your characters just didn't know it. That seems
maybe you knew it.
That
Who
seems
knows? But
that seems like it was there from the beginning, and
exactly.
And
it was already part of the actual story, so it works because they've worked around it and they've integrated it in so well. It's just like, And then Silent Hill, or not Silent Hill. I keep saying Silent Hill. Star Ocean 3 just comes along. It's like, oh, simulation. What?
Yeah, that one comes out of nowhere so hard that like you can't go, oh, that's interesting that it's a simulation. And you're like, no, man, what? This is trash.
It's dumb. And then there's stupid, shitty enemies that come into the world because plot, and then you kill some dude who was in charge of the simulation.
Yeah. So plot twists are like a dangerous thing to play with unless you've really thought it out thoroughly. To just put one in for shock value, it's lazy writing.
Oh, very lazy, yeah. So, if I were to like write up a game plot or anything, I would have the plot twist like basically the first thing I would think of is like, how can I fuck with it?
Right.
But like build it up to that so that it still works. Yeah.
Because I mean, a plot twist, it can definitely be like a part of your narrative arc, and it's valid and it makes sense. But you gotta, if you're gonna go that route and you're gonna say there's gonna be a giant twist, it's gonna really flip the world on its head, make sure it's good and make sure that like it makes sense in the scope of the world, and from like the character's point of view, will it actually surprise them? But like, I don't know, like you've got to think about all the different pieces of the world that are going to revolve around this twist, and do they all still like hold up, you know, on the other side of that twist? Because if the whole, you know, thing just falls to shit afterwards, then what a dumb plot twist.
Yeah. There is a plot twist, like I want to say, but you haven't played the game yet, and I want you to play the game, is the original Nier. But I'm like, there's so many plot twists in it. It's so juicy. I'm like, I want you to play it, and I don't want to ruin it for you.
I'm like halfway through that, I swear to God. I just need to go back and get the PlayStation 2 and fire it up.
No, it's PlayStation 3.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's why I haven't played it anymore.
Remember when we went home and we tried to play it, and then the PlayStation 3 fucking died?
Rest in peace, PlayStation 3 at home.
So you lost all your record, but
that's right.
Oh well. Yeah. I managed to finish the game in, I think there's an achievement for 10 hours, so it's totally possible to do it in 10 hours.
Oh, okay, so one session here during Corona times. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We'll just have to fly over there. Oh, wait.
Yeah, no. Can't do that. Borders closed.
Not happening. I gotta stay in my house, and have exercise once a day, maybe. Maybe. So, yeah. Hopefully that answered your question, Alcion, about plot twists. We might have gone off tangent as to, like, shitting over games that had bad plot twists, but hopefully right at the end there was explaining how plot twists can make or break a game. Yeah. It's all about preparation.
I think so. I think it is all about preparation. If you're going to build a plot twist into your plot, then, you got to really work that in nicely. Don't just throw it in for no good reason. That's trash.
Yeah, it is trash. That's why you get garbage like Star Ocean 3.
Star Ocean 3, a poopy poop game.
Damn it. 4D, what? Yeah, the only way they could have made that worse is to say, oh, there's a 5D. Oh my god.
You know what? If they went for a double plot twist and then said that there was a 5D, I don't know, it might get better.
I'd probably laugh more and not be shocked. I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Good times.
That game.
Yep. Well, is that
Anyways,
going to do it for us?
I think so.
Ah.
I think we're nearing about an hour. I think the last one was about that long too.
Yeah,
So
seems like
we're
it.
very steady.
Yes.
It's very good.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you for listening, whoever listened to up until this part, and our rambling about random shit. Hopefully we'll have another episode out sometime in the future. I mean, we have loads of time, but there's also no news happening, so I mean, might take a little while.
Yeah.
But I mean, we could give our 2 cents about all the games that we're going to be playing.
Yeah.
Because we have so much time.
This is true. Very true.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks so much, and goodbye, good night, good morning, whatever your time is at the moment.